The generational war has gone on forever, but there's a new generation that has started to emerge from the shadows, waiting to overtake us all, and they're called Gen Alpha. There's been an ongoing fight between each generation. Millennials were the first to make fun of Gen Z.
Gen Z's trying to cancel Eminem? Honey, that's cute.
Only for Gen Z to eventually fight back when we were old enough and make fun of millennials for not changing with the times.
When I popped off, then your girl gave me.
But hey, I'm not here to yap about millennials anymore, because the newest generation seems to be getting a lot more attention online with their own trends and behaviors that are seen as cringe, but I'm not calling these kids cringe. The internet is. Kids can't be cringe in my mind. They're just kids. They're just having fun. It's probably the parents' fault, to be honest with you, if this is really the point of the video, but I am just a peaceful commentary YouTuber who hopes to bring a little joy into your life because of this video. So, Generation Alpha. Born between the years 2010 and 2024, they're the first generation to have grown up in a world that fully encapsulates technology. And while it's no longer the era of going to your home computer that you could only access while being at home, this time, Johnny's iPad is joining family lunch. So much so that the iPad gets its own table. But I think it's important to understand who the parents are that are raising this new generation, and they are millennials.
We're iPad parents. If you try to give us some kind of advice and you don't have kids,
I'm not gonna shit on millennials any more than I have to, but I think it should give enough context clues to how they're exactly raising this new generation. For example, there was a lot of interesting word choices, and we're talking about adulting, YOLO, and awesome sauce. But now they've been replaced by Ohio, Skibbity, Riz, and Mewing. And in Gen Alpha, there's also a lot of brain rot memes and way too much screen time. We're first going to be looking at what some people are calling Gen Alpha influencers.
We're Gen Alpha influencers. Of course, my favorite stores are Sephora.
Which is slightly concerning, considering that these are children or early tweens, and they should be playing with toys and not ring light kits that you can buy from JeffBezos.com. Gotta start that hustle early. These bills don't pay for themselves. Please don't. This is a terrible joke. So this is by the account Garza Crew, a family channel that primarily features a mom and her two younger daughters, Haven and Cody. They do Get Ready With Me's,
Get Rid of Me only using Drunk Elephant,
and other TikTok trends. But I would like to just gently remind you that these are 7-year-olds. Born in 2016. That is when I was a freshman in high school. Not saying I peaked in high school, just using that for reference. And I'm not saying that Gen Alpha isn't having any fun, but forget going to Toys R Us. They're more concerned about skincare and trying to look and act older.
Y'all better watch out for this new generation.
I mean, at one point, we were all like this, like, don't get me wrong, but instead of the teenagers we saw on TV to try to dress like, honestly, I really wish they would bring back the OG Disney Channel. But Gen Alpha has it a bit differently than us. We're talking makeup hauls, Drunk Elephant.
favorite stores are right next to each other. I'm excited.
But instead, Gen Alpha has been going to Sephora and trashing the stores all for the sake of making slime. How much does Drunk Elephant even cost? Standard bottle, what is in the video, $69 flat. Okay, she's a little expensive, $70 for moisturizer that kids are trashing, okay. This isn't just one store, by the way, this is everywhere. I mean, are the slime kits that you can get from like a store not good enough? This is just general curiosity. Who wants to be making slime out of moisturizer?
tweens aren't really taking over and destroying the Drunk Elephant section in Sephora. I've heard this going around the internet and I decided to go to Sephora to actually check it out for myself. This thing was disgusting. There was a lip balm with a literal hair in it. Someone put the bronzing drops all over one of the moisturizers, couldn't even be bothered to put them back.
But the trend of Drunk Elephant and bad parenting is only the beginning. Gen Alpha has also begun to change words, similar to their millennial parents, and not for the better. They're literally just reusing the same word and changing the definition of it. Specifically the word PREPPY.
It's preppy.
It's preppy. No, that's more coquette.
And when I first heard of this, I was thinking of, you know, the typical preppy fashion with polo shirts and loafers. But now it's supposed to mean neon clothing and something similar to a modern day Justice.
These two aren't preppy. They're both coquette.
I had that dress in like 1998. God. She's like, wait, there's more.
Even though they're sparkly, they're preppy.
How the hell did preppy become that?
The glitter, this earring set is giving like old-fashioned. It's giving like Great Gatsby. That's what it's called. Oh my god, that took me way too long to figure out. But I'm gonna let them have their thing. I'm not gonna judge. Okay, if they want to call that preppy, they can call that preppy.
The white one's coquette. This one's Livy. It's the Olivia Rodrigo vibe.
But Gen Alpha's new language and slang terms only get stranger, because now they're mixing them together with each word adding onto the next like a really confusing math problem.
Skibbity Ohio Riz, what does it mean and why are kids saying? Skibbity means something bad. Ohio is something cringy. Riz means your ability to flirt. So when we put them all together, Skibbity, Ohio, Riz, it just basically means that your Riz, your ability to flirt, your charisma is trash.
I feel like I am on Duolingo, but like the bad kind of Duolingo.
But to say if somebody has Skibbity, Ohio, Riz is the greatest form of insult.
You can't even say slay around Gen Alpha or you're a goner.
It's not even funny how out slay is.
I can't say like that's a sleigh.
No! Oh my god, I won't.
But it's a good thing that Gen Alpha is letting us know exactly what words are in and out so we don't turn out like their parents. Another joke. So sorry to all of the millennials watching. You have just been taking hit after hit after hit by me. I am so sorry.
We're gonna be asking my Gen Alpha little sister if things are still in, like phrases and words, if they're still in.
BFF. Like, do people still say that?
Like, think over text, you would kind of say that, but like, I feel
Not
like it's
IRL.
like BFF.
What is
best friend.
BSF?
Best friend.
BFF is
say
out,
that? Wait, that's a
BSF
thing?
is in.
What about Linda and Heather, best friends forever?
Together, forever. We're Linda and Heather.
I just saw this video of this Gen Alpha girl being like, Slay and Queen aren't cool anymore. Like, no one says that. That was so 5 months ago. But 5 months? We're recycling through words every 5 months? Like, what?
I would be super curious to see how historians react to this in the future.
Hey, come look at this. I have more Riz than you Ohio Skibbity. Yacht Bro edge maxing. Baby Gronk is mewing. Livy Dunn is hitting the gritty. And Grimace Shake is the Rizzler, so Freddy Fazbear?
But there's an ever-evolving crisis in Gen Alpha that isn't just spending their parents' money on retinol. And that's the fact that these kids can't read.
These kids can barely read. They can barely fucking read.
As someone who just started substitute teaching, these kids cannot read.
This is affecting the entire generation.
They are growing up in front of screens. They've never known a day in their life where they didn't have a phone in their hand. Their education has been disrupted. I've got some sympathy for this generation. They're facing a lot of tough times.
Of course, some people are making light of it, saying that they can't spell basic words or are only concerned with saying skibbity all day.
Taj, spell summer. I'm not gonna lie, Miss Brown, I don't really know how to spell that word. That's a tough one. Oh, so you can spell skibbity, but you can't spell summer?
But it's getting to the point that their poor behavior is becoming defiant against teachers.
Y'all are saying that Gen Z is making fun of millennials for raising iPad kids, right? I don't care if I'm a millennial teacher or not. I have to join in with Gen Z here and saying that y'all are raising some kids that are extremely hard to deal with.
And they're performing at grades lower than they should be.
I'ma just say this. I teach 7th grade, they are still performing on the 4th grade level.
Teachers are quitting because of this, parents are angry, and
a 1st grade little girl just slapped my 3rd grade student, and when the line supervisors were disciplining her, she said, "Don't worry, my mom must come up here and take care of it."
There honestly seems like there is no end to this madness.
I need everybody else in my generation to promise that we are not gonna raise iPad children. Please. I just saw a TikTok from some millennial, and she was like, here's a message to Gen Z. You might make fun of us, but watch out. We're raising the next generation, and they're gonna eat you up. Your kids can't read, okay? You're raising Gen Alpha. They're bizarre and terribly behaved. Y'all bred iPad children.
But to end on a lighter note, I believe there just may be an end in sight. A small glimmer of hope, like seeing a light at the end of a tunnel you've walked miles through. This is the section of the video that I wanted to call "The Kids Are Gonna Be Alright," Because I think as Gen Z especially, we need to be the example Gen Alpha needs in a world that doesn't really look out for them. We have the chance and the influence to do good, and obviously the parents should as well, but maybe they also just need that little push.
I have never met a group of people more hard on themselves, filled with more self-doubt than millennial parents. Okay, and I get it. We're out here trying to do better, right? We're out here trying to do right by our kids.
So to start things off, you might have heard of the trend on TikTok called the conscious babies.
It's just like a disservice to go like, oh, like that one kid, like that's crazy, that baby has consciousness. But I think as a larger conversation, children aren't as dumb as we play them out to be. And I think like the child has the capacity or has the education level of the parents that had them, like full stop.
Which started out with the Four Seasons Orlando baby, and now has become an epidemic of babies coming to Earth, seeming like they've been around for a very long time, knowing more than the adults taking care of them ever will.
Mama. You want more?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just started that one. MB.
The other account that I had found is on Instagram by the username Light4079. It's this kid that stands in front of different stores and restaurants to wait until the lights turn off. It's wholesome, okay? We need a little wholesome. I'm trying to do that more because there's a lot of negativity in these videos.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be watching Chipotle's lights turning off. I'm excited for the lights to turn off. But anyway, let's watch the lights turn off.
The suspense is killing me.
Oh, they turned off.
Woo! He found the hack to stay up later. That's smart. That's smart. I didn't even think about that. While it might be the rite of passage for aging to poke fun at younger generations, internet culture will change, trends will evolve and come back, but at the end of the day, soon enough, it'll be time for us Gen Z to pass over the generational torch over to Gen Alpha. And I think that even if it might be a little difficult, letting the future generations take the lead after us is only the right thing to do. And that's on Skibbity, Ohio. I'm gonna be in a Gen Z cringe compilation video in the future, aren't I? Yeah. All right, stay cool.